What if you could see the future as an entrepreneur? What if you could know if your business was going to work before you ever launched it, before you ever spent money, before you ever took the risk and looked like an idiot to all your friends? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. If you've ever wanted to start an online business, software, app, website, agency, anything that lives on the internet, but you didn't want to jump in with both feet before knowing if there was a market for it, if there was demand for it, if you could be better than your competitors, I'm going to show you all of the tools that I use on a daily basis to validate these business ideas before ever launching. So let's dive in. Also, if you're just now meeting me for the first time, my name is Koerner. I'm a married dad of 4 living in Dallas-Fort Worth. I have started about 80 businesses over the last 16 years. 3 of those have been worth over $10 million, and 7 of those have been worth over $1 million. I am addicted to starting and growing businesses, and this channel is engineered to share my learnings, experiences, and tips and tricks with all of you. Okay, let's start by listing off all the tools I plan to use for this video, and then I'll show you how to use the tools in the most strategic way so you can get the most out of them. Let's start with the AI tools: ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and then Manus. In my opinion, those are the 4 best AI tools if you're looking for a tool that can be agentic, which means it can act as an agent. It can act on your behalf to go surf the internet and bring you back the most relevant information. Now, keep in mind that these AI tools are only as good as the prompts I give them, and they're only as good as the places I tell them to go and extract data from. You're going to see that my prompts are very specific, and I'm going to tell them to go look at specific websites that are key to this whole thing working. Okay, now the non-AI tools I plan to use will be PickFu, Gummy Search, and Reddit. Now keep in mind, you don't need an audience or a lot of money to do any of these things I'm about to show you. And almost all of these services offer free trials because we even want to mitigate our risk while trying to mitigate our risk as we learn which opportunities out there are most likely to be successful for us. Okay, now for the purposes of this experiment, the business that I'm going to try to validate or invalidate is a direct competitor to QuickBooks or Xero. Now, QuickBooks is a bookkeeping software that you've probably heard of. I can't stand it. And Xero/FreshBooks/ all of the other QuickBooks competitors out there just don't seem to do it for me either. So by the end of this video, I'm going to use building a direct QuickBooks competitor as an example of how you can validate or invalidate an online business idea before ever launching. And you can apply these exact same principles to whatever idea it is that you may have. Also, I know you're going to love this video, so please hit subscribe before you forget so you can see more stuff like this in your feed. All right, let's start with the prompt that I plan to use across some of these AI tools. Now, whether you're listening to this or watching this, I'm going to go ahead and paste this exact prompt in the show notes below, so you don't need to subscribe or anything to see it. Okay, now I could paste this prompt across all of the AI tools out there, including Grok and Gemini. But I think I'm just going to get a lot of redundant responses here. I want to use Manus because it does a great job of acting as an agent for me. It's agentic. I want to use ChatGPT 5 for the same reason. Now, I am a little let down by ChatGPT 5, but I've noticed when I ask it to employ its ChatGPT agentic features, it does. If I don't, then it won't, because OpenAI is striving to save money on their processing costs. I'm going to use Claude Opus 4.1 because I honestly think it is the best model in the world right now. And I'm going to use Perplexity because it does a good job at displaying large tables of data. And it works really fast, and I'm an impatient man. Okay, so let's go to Perplexity first. I'm not going to use deep research. I'm going to use labs. Perplexity Labs is awesome because it will automatically display data in different ways: charts, graphs, tables, pictures, while also combining these features with its core deep research features. So I kind of get the best of both worlds. It's like deep research, but leveled up. So I'm going to paste in the prompt and then move on to Manus. It says it's going to take 11 minutes. You can see that I'm choosing the agent feature on Manus. And I am using the free Manus plan, by the way. I've had the paid version in the past, but I just didn't use it enough to justify keeping it. All right, Manus is working. Let's go to Claude Opus 4.1. Hit the dropdown. I have the $20 a month plan. I've got the web search dropdown checked, and I have the deep research button checked. Boom. All right, last but not least, ChatGPT 5. I'm going to hit agent mode, and I'm going to go. Claude has some follow-up questions for me. Am I interested in competing in a specific market segment? Freelancers, small businesses under 10 employees, mid-market to 10 to 50. Yes, actually, I'm glad it asked. I should have included that in the prompt. Businesses with 0 to 10 employees. There are about 35 million businesses in the United States, and I think 30 million of them have no employees. So that's my market. I don't care about the big businesses when it comes to this. Second question, what's your initial hypothesis for differentiation? Lower price point, better UX. That's user experience, specific vertical focus, or something else. AI enabled, cheaper. I'm thinking $19 a month, and more simple. Core features only. It just never breaks. If you've used QuickBooks, you probably have noticed that the connection with your bank accounts always break and you have to reconnect it. It's really annoying, and I've actually dug into that problem, and it's very fixable. Third question Claude asked is, do you have any specific feature areas you're already considering focusing on? I'm just going to say no. I'll leave that open-ended. All right, if we check in on ChatGPT, it is gone. It's moving pretty fast. Perplexity has 7 minutes left, and Manus is cranking along as well. So while these cook, we're going to go use these non-AI tools. You're going to love these. Also, I am not affiliated with any of these tools mentioned in the video. I'll see if I can get some discount affiliate links. If so, I'll put them in the show notes. It'd be great if you could support me. All right, I do have a Gummy Search account. I'm logged in. I'm going to purchase a day pass for $10. Paid plans are $29 to $200 a month. That's really not necessary. I'm just going to buy a $10 day pass. And it looks like I had quantity of 2 in my cart, so I accidentally bought a 2-day pass. Awesome. Okay, so if you've never scraped anything on the internet, it can be a little intimidating. There are tools like Outscraper, Appify, Scrapebox, Gummy Search that makes this scraping process a lot easier. So what Gummy Search does is it's built on top of Reddit to help better display things that I might be looking for on Reddit, such as QuickBooks user complaints that are most often repeated. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and activate one of my 2-day passes, and then I'm going to go to the audience tab, make a new audience, and I'm going to type in small business. I'd like to find about 10 million or so total Reddit subscribers across all subreddits related to small business. So these are the small business subreddits I'm going to choose. r/small business, small business Canada, business, entrepreneur, small business owners, business ideas, r/side project, and that has 10.4 million members across these 7 subreddits. That should be plenty. Create audience. Okay, now I just search for keywords. I'm just going to search QuickBooks. And then I'm going to click on the Patterns tab. Summarize 100 submissions. So right now, in a matter of seconds, it's going to summarize 21,000 words about QuickBooks based on what people have posted in these 7 subreddits. Okay, the most often repeating pattern is seeking alternatives to QuickBooks. Okay, this is awesome. I'm immediately excited. I didn't do any of this research before hitting record, by the way. This is all done fresh. I'm trying to get into the habit of whenever I do cool stuff like this on the internet, just hitting record. So, seeking alternatives to QuickBooks. Number 2, concerns about QuickBooks pricing and subscription issues. Number 3, integration of QuickBooks with other software. 4, building or considering alternatives to QuickBooks. 5, using QuickBooks for payroll and bookkeeping. 6, issues and frustrations with QuickBooks. All right, let's try that with Xero now, which is QuickBooks' biggest competitor. All right, we're going to find patterns in 24,000 words about Xero. The most common pattern is people having Xero integration issues. The second one is simply people asking for accounting software recommendations. That's neither good nor bad. Xero is popping up because people are recommending it. So if I had to choose, it's more good than bad. And then the other 3 patterns are just people looking for software solutions. So immediately, this is telling me that people have serious issues with QuickBooks, but not many issues with Xero. So that can lead me down a different rabbit hole. What do people love about Xero that I could implement into my software? Let's click on the Sentiment tab and see what the sentiment is about Xero compared to QuickBooks. Also, what's cool about this is you can click this track button here, and you'll get email notifications if the sentiment changes or if new patterns emerge based on the topic that you're following. All right. The sentiment towards Xero in these posts is generally neutral to slightly negative. While some users appreciate its features like automatic bank reconciliation, others find it too complicated or expensive. There are also mentions of specific limitations, such as issues with quoting features and integration problems. So it has a 48 out of 100 sentiment score. 100 would be a perfectly positive sentiment. We're going to do the same thing with QuickBooks and see how it compares. And I'll tell you what, once all this research is over, I'm going to show you how I personally launch landing pages that can start collecting emails in about 3 to 4 minutes. It's so easy. And it costs about $2 a year the way I do it. Okay, the sentiment for QuickBooks is 38 out of 100 compared to 48 out of 100 for Xero. Significant number of users are expressing frustration over pricing, complexity, and technical issues. Okay, so basically people generally dislike both QuickBooks and Xero, but they like Xero a little better. Now we can go to the Ask feature and ask AI a question about Xero or QuickBooks or whatever features people hate or can't live without, and it will answer us based on all of these posts in all of these subreddits. What complaint occurs the most often regarding both QuickBooks and Xero? That is the question I'm asking AI. Okay, the number one complaint about QuickBooks and Xero is not just that their prices are high, but that their prices keep going up. Why does QuickBooks Online just keep going up? Xero keeps going up. So what this is telling me is if I were to build a competitor to QuickBooks, the number one message in my marketing should be cheap price forever, because that's the opposite of what my competitors are actually doing in real life. Okay, there's a bunch more we can do with Gummy Search, but this is the 80-20 of it. Let's move on to the next tool. PickFu is one of the most underrated, slept on tools on the internet. It's been around forever. I use it for all kinds of random things. And it's especially good if you want to pull relevant information from a relevant audience, but you don't have your own audience. You can find a shortcut by using PickFu. Once again, this is not sponsored by them, but I do have an affiliate link if you want to use it. So I'm logged in, I go to my dashboard, and what PickFu is it's a polling platform. They have millions of people signed up to complete surveys and polls that we submit to them. And PickFu knows if these people are American, international, how old they are, their gender, their likes, dislikes, hobbies, level of wealth, etc. This is just amazing data. So I'm going to click New Poll, type my question. What do you hate most about QuickBooks? I'm not going to actually run this poll because this would cost me money right now, but I'm going to show you how it works. The most important thing to do here is audience, sample size. It says 50 is the most popular. I like to double that and go for 100 people in my poll. Now, this will guarantee you 100 responses. It's not just going to put it in front of 100 people and only 12 respond. You pay $1 per response, so it would be $100 to poll 100 people. But that's 100 specific targeted people. In this case, people living in the United States that are small business owners. Yes, I checked all those boxes. We can even do age range, gender identity, political, Amazon Prime member, App Store spending habits, age of kids. You can go on and on and on. But here's the trade-off. The more specific you get with your audience, the more it's going to cost you to poll them. So I'm just going to keep it to small business owners. 100 responses for $100. Then you click preview and pay. And within an hour, you will have your responses. How valuable is that? My audience is so valuable because I can just throw up an Instagram poll and within minutes can know what to post about, what business to talk about, etc. But you watching or listening to this can shortcut all that just by using something like this. And the third non-AI tool that I talked about using is simply Reddit. And I would even throw in Facebook groups, small business owner Facebook groups that are highly moderated, highly curated, not a bunch of ads and spam in there. Just search for the words QuickBooks or Xero, see what people are saying about it. If it's not a closed group, you can copy that URL, paste it into ChatGPT and have it summarize its findings for you. Do the same thing in Reddit. Across any of those subreddits I chose, or even more niche subreddits than those. I'm assuming you guys know how to use Facebook groups and Reddit, so I won't go into detail there. But that wraps up the non-AI tools. Let's get back to these prompts to see what they spit out for us. All right, we'll start with ChatGPT. I really love what it gave me here. There's a lot going on here. It's confirming that it read over 200 recent reviews of QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, and Xero from multiple public sources such as Capterra, GetApp, Software Advice, and TrustRadius. And it took all of these reviews and clustered them together in recurring themes. The number one pain point, frequent bugs, crashes, and unreliable updates. Number two, price hikes and unpredictable subscription costs. I find this very interesting. It's not just that it's expensive, it's that it's unpredictably expensive and the price just keeps going up. Poor customer support, limited report customization, payroll limitations, yada, yada, yada. But usually when you're looking at lists of complaints like this, the 80-20 rule is very much in force. as in 80% of people are going to have these top 2 complaints, and 20% of people are going to have the bottom 8 complaints. The must-have features that ChatGPT 5 brought back are cloud accessibility and multi-user collaboration, sharing your account, adding team members with your accountant, your spouse, or your employees, and being able to access your reports and your books from anywhere in the world. That's a non-negotiable. Ease of use. It's got to have a good interface. You got to have invoicing and recurring billing. You got to have bank reconciliation. And then number 10, security. Number 9, document attachments and paperless workflow. Okay, this is cool. So if I were to launch this and start advertising the features, I would list the non-negotiables as number 1. Yeah, I could probably be successful if I launched a QuickBooks competitor that touted the best security in the world. But people aren't asking for that. So ChatGPT also gives us an opportunity map where a lean competitor could win. Reliable, affordable cloud accounting with rock-solid bank feeds. Once again, the bank integrations cannot break. Human-centered support, flexible reporting, modular features, transparent pricing. Okay. Should you build a competitor? Speaking bluntly, ChatGPT says the accounting software space is crowded and mature, but the sheer amount of dissatisfaction with QuickBooks and, to a lesser extent, Xero, suggests a niche for a lean, customer-focused alternative. Users crave stability, fair pricing, responsive support, flexible reporting, and reliable bank fees. A prudent strategy might be to start with a niche vertical, like project-based service firms or nonprofits, and prove traction before expanding. Okay, I like that report. Thank you, ChatGPT. We'll save the best for last, not that I'm biased, and go to Perplexity next. All right, here's what I'm talking about with Perplexity Labs. It leads off with a bar graph. Top 10 pain points: bank feed, customer service, pricing. Boom. Top 10 must-haves for both QuickBooks and Xero: cloud access, bank integration, user interface, and ease. This is what we learned on Gummy Search and ChatGPT. Executive summary. It's basically saying that not having a reliable bank feed, not having good customer service, and predictable pricing would be deal breakers. You would fail if you didn't have those things. This is really helpful. All right, here's the reality check. Here's Perplexity's take. You're not disrupting accounting software, you're just building it properly. Both QuickBooks and Xero are successful despite being terrible at basic execution. If you can build reliable bank feeds, provide human support, and maintain honest pricing, you'll have thousands of frustrated users ready to switch. Here's the thing about businesses like these. There are 35 million people in America that need one of these businesses, one of these services. It's kind of a commodity, and people use the word commodity as a bad thing, but it's not. Commodity equals massive market. Cotton is a commodity because we all wear t-shirts. It does not have to be a bad thing. It doesn't even have to be a price competition. It can be a feature, not a bug. The market is here. The pain is real. The solutions are achievable. Bottom line, this is a solid business for someone with the technical chops and operational discipline to out-execute the incumbents. With a 10x developer and a proper focus on the top 3 pain points, you can capture meaningful market share within 2 to 3 years. Okay, let's see what Manus says. Manus is still thinking. That is something that kind of annoys me about Manus. It takes a while. I'm sure it would be faster if I were on a paid plan, but this is going to force me to go to Claude next. Okay, Claude made me a nice little document, small business accounting software, the $19 opportunity. The core insight is that both market leaders suffer from serving everyone, and therefore they are serving small businesses with 0 to 10 employees poorly. Okay, top 10 ranked pain points: bank feed reliability, payment processing disasters. That's interesting. Customer support, pricing transparency and increases, feature complexity overload. I'm glad it said that. Okay, and then the top 10 ranked must-have features: reliable bank reconciliation. It's essential, 90% dependency. I love how it added a percentage dependency and a percentage frequency on the negatives. Simple invoicing with professional appearance, that's essential. Expense tracking and receipt capture, basic financial reporting, multi-device access with real-time sync. Okay, opportunity map. Wedge, it says 5 specific wedge opportunities. Wedge 1, bank feeds that never break, reliability guarantee. Wedge 2, no payment processor hostage situation. So users want the ability to use different payment processors, not only the one that QuickBooks or Xero uses in-house. Same-day human support, transparent pricing forever, small business only. Is this opportunity viable? It says customer acquisition will be expensive. Bank integration complexity is significant. Feature creep pressure is inevitable. But yes, this business could succeed by solving real problems better than existing solutions. Okay, Manus is still going. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to build a very quick landing page with an email flow. It is 4:08 p.m. right now. Let my watch be the proof. Let's see how long this takes. I use Carrd, CARRD.co for all of my landing pages because it's like $50 a year for up to 25 different websites. I don't know of anything even remotely as close to Carrd when it comes to affordability. Here's a bunch of landing pages that I have. What I'm going to do, I'm going to literally copy and paste a landing page. I have a landing page here for busyjuice.com, which is an energy drink idea that I have that I've never launched. And all I do is click this button, make a copy of this site. Copy, sure. Scroll up here, there it is. I'm going to click on the site to edit it. I'm going to click the floppy disk, title. Let's think of a name for this. If I were to launch this business, let's call it Lazy Books instead of QuickBooks. And we'll call it Bookkeeping for People Who Hate Bookkeeping. Okay. I don't want to do a Carrd domain. I want to do a custom domain because I'm a domain junkie. And let's go ahead and say lazybooks.com. Is it available? Yep. Okay. Now, what do you know? As luck would have it, if we go into my Namecheap account, I happen to own lazybooks.com because I paid $800 for it just last week. This is how easy it is to connect a custom domain name from any registrar, be it Namecheap, GoDaddy, Cloudflare, whatever. All right, I go into Manage on my lazybooks.com domain. I'm going to click on Namecheap Basic DNS, click the green checkbox. Then I click on Advanced DNS, Add New Record, go back to Carrd. Carrd is telling me to add these two records, A at, and then that. Add New Record, A at that, just like that. Go back to Carrd, CNAME, www, that, add new record, CNAME, www, that, click the green checkbox, done. I have now connected my custom domain name with this Carrd landing page, but I haven't published the landing page yet. I'm going to change this because this is irrelevant to this. I'm going to write QuickBooks sucks, Lazy Books doesn't. Be notified below when it goes live. Not the best copywriting in the world, but it'll do. I change that to say email. Now I use Beehive for my newsletter. I go into Beehive. Now you can use any number of these email services, MailChimp, Klaviyo, whatever. I just happen to use Beehive. I need an API key and a publication ID. Click on API, create new API key. I'll call it Lazy Books, copy, publication ID, right there. Boom, boom. On completion, I just want to say thank you. I'm going to collect UTM parameters. Collecting UTM parameters just allows me to track within Beehive which email addresses are coming from this landing page so I can segment them and only bother them once Lazy Books is ready to go. Then I click Save, publish to a custom domain, publish changes, boom. Okay, I started at what, 4:08? It's 4:16, so that took me 8 minutes. Now I can start collecting email addresses on a custom landing page on a custom domain name that I bought. Also, while we wait for this domain name to be ready, you need to come check out tkowners.com. It's like 400 people that are building cool stuff together, sharing growth hacks, AI tools, tips, tricks. We have 2 Ask Me Anythings per week, one with me, one with someone else that knows a lot about cool business stuff. Just come join us at tkowners.com. Okay, and while we wait for my domain name to go live so we can test if the email submission form works, if you want to add pictures to this landing page, you just click the plus button, text, image, buttons, super easy. You just upload it right there. You can copy, paste. I'm not a software engineer. I'm not technical. It's super easy to use. All right, let's see if the website is ready. Boom, look at that, lazybooks.com. There's the landing page. Looks pretty cool. I'm going to do this, Chris plus 443. By the way, if you put something after the plus sign in an email address, it will still go to the same place. Fun fact. Click that. There's my pop-up that says thank you. We go into Beehive, click on subscribers. Boom, there it is. Okay. And it worked. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm actually going to launch this business. I filmed this video because I actually wanted to do this research. I bought the domain name last week, being optimistic that this research would show me what I thought it would show me, because I've already been asking my audience if they love or hate QuickBooks or Xero, what they can live without, what they can't live without. So I paid $800 for this premium domain name, and I hit record while I did the research to validate my decision. So if you're a business owner or an aspiring business owner, please check out lazybooks.com. You can use this exact landing page that you just watched me build in real time and subscribe for notifications. And I'll tell you when it's live, $19 a month. It's not going to do the stuff that people hate about QuickBooks and Xero. And it is going to do the stuff that people love about QuickBooks and Xero. And it's going to be AI enabled, so you can ask questions about your business, about your financials. I'm going to have a simple toggle button to change the language from accountant to human, because I don't speak accountant. I don't know what a chart of accounts is, but my accountant wants to know. He wants to see stuff like that. So it's going to have some cool little features, but not any more than you really need to run your business. It's going to be built for businesses with 0 to 10 employees. So check out lazybooks.com. And thanks for watching the Koerner Office. Please share with a friend, and we'll see you next time.